subjects at the end of the sentence.
So here we are recording Aramaic Neophytes. We're in chapter 14 of Basics of Biblical Aramaic. We're pushing right along this week. We're covering the Peal Imperfects. I think we're going to be able to present it in the simplest of ways and just move right along. So here we go, chapter 14.
Wait, which? Okay, 14.
Excuse everybody out there in YouTube land. Please forgive my lack of beard. I feel naked. And there was a mistake today. All right,
I'm sure
so
they're going to
more
lose lots
lovely
of sleep.
comparison. They are. The whole world is going to say, "Oh my God, he's a child." So we're gonna, instead of keep it simple, stupid, we're gonna keep it simple, smarty. There we go. In Hebrew study, we tell students it's important to learn the features of the strong verb in the kal, and once you've got the structure of the perfect, the imperfect, imperative, infinitive-ish, and the participles, you'll have the principles that will allow you to identify the features of the other stems, right? You learn the kal, and then the other ones you recognize. At this point, we're simply learning the endings of what amounts to the kal in Aramaic, or not just the endings, also the prefixes. The kal is simply called pe'al in Aramaic, in the same way that the traditional nomenclature for the kal in Hebrew is pa'al. Once we've got the features of the Aramaic pe'al, we will have an easy time tackling the rest of the stems, which we'll get to momentarily, not this week, but we'll get to very quickly. So this is a quick comparison of the imperfect between Hebrew and Aramaic. The first thing we'll notice is that they're very, very, very similar, which is a good thing. In Hebrew, we have an O theme vowel for the majority of strong verbs. In Aramaic, the theme vowel is U. U, O, that's not so hard to jump between. Just as in Hebrew, we have a thematic vowel of A in some verbs, like yilbash, he will wear, and yilmad, he will learn. So in Aramaic, we will also see that there is an A theme vowel, and when there is Aleph or Hey in the third position, we'll have A, like a tsere, or maybe a segul, I guess. So let's jump into this comparison. We're not going to go over all the weak verbs that they present in the chapter. I think we can basically figure them out without too much spending time on them. So the imperfect in Hebrew, yichtov, he will write. In Aramaic, yichtuv. Sounds exactly the same. Instead of O, it's U, yichtuv. She will write, tichtov, tichtuv. He will, you, masculine singular, you will write, tichtov, tichtuv. And here this is very interesting, tichtavi in Hebrew. We sometimes have an nun energicum, I think we call it. It's added just to the end of it for no apparent reason. In Aramaic, it's exactly that form, tichtavin. Okay, so there's nothing really unpredictable here. Like we have this long form in Hebrew also sometimes, and that's how it appears in Aramaic. Echtov, echtuv. Nichtov, nichtuv. Okay? In the 2MP and the 3MP in Hebrew, many times we have an N, a nun ending on there. So we have, instead of tichtavu, we have tichtavun. And instead of yichtavu, we have yichtavun. These are the exact forms in Aramaic, nothing to startle us. But the feminine, instead of tichtovna and tichtovna, we have yichtavan and tichtavan, which we learned that these are feminine plural endings, the an endings, with like chevan. Chevan is animals. Okay, so this should be pretty standard and recognizable to us, which makes the imperfect, the strong imperfect verb very, very recognizable and easily identifiable for anyone who knows Hebrew. Okay, so that's really nice. In the chapter, the author does give a lot of weak verbs and what happens with them. And for the most part, if you know Hebrew, you're not going to have any surprise here, right? Did you read through the chapter? I have not. Well, the only real oddity.
Okay. I'm working on it with somebody, and we're on chapter 7, so we're not there yet.
Okay, the only real oddity is the prevalence of the nasalization, insertion of a nun, even where the root itself doesn't have nun, like yada, he knew. In the future, it's enda or tinda, yindun, yindaun. There's a nun inserted in there. I'm not sure why, but it exists. Notice that the future of he will give, the future he will give is yinten. So we have like the yiten from Hebrew, but the nun is present. Yiten, yinten. We see that on number 4, page 94, where we have, instead of yipol, we have yipel with an E thematic vowel. And the plural is tipelun, you will fall, which is like in Hebrew, tipelu. And he will give yinten, and you will give tinten, and they will give tintenun, yintenun. So we see these patterns that should be familiar if we know about Hebrew morphology and what Hebrew verbs undergo. We will notice that just like halach in Hebrew has odd forms in the future, yelech, it behaves as if it were a first yod. So in Aramaic, instead of the regular full future, it's also weaken it. It drops out the lamed. So it's yehach. Yehach means he will go instead of yelech. Yehach. In Hebrew, it drops the hey. In Aramaic, it drops the lamed. Not sure why. The future of the verb to be has a lamed prefix, and we've already talked about that it was a way of avoiding writing out the name of God. So instead of writing Yeheveh, they wrote Leheveh, and they changed out the yod for a lamed. But they did that in other forms of the future for that verb as well. Okay, with that said, I think basically the uses of the imperfect are pretty much identical to Hebrew. It can be used as habitual past. We would say, I guess you would say it's irrealis, but it's not really, because normally it was used for things that were really happening, just habitual. Okay, you can add pronominal suffixes to verbs. They will be identified in the text, of course, and we've seen several of them. So let's go over the vocabulary on page 98, and then we'll get into parsing. Okay, so page 98, 14.9 vocabulary. The first verb right there is one that I know Jonathan has a special affinity for. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, bahal. I mean, I can't tell you anything that isn't already lessoned here. To frighten or terrify. And yeah.
Right, but it's not bahal.
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
bahel.
yeah. Bahal. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to refer to verbs as real forms and not as roots. So hit behel, bahel, and hit bahal. It appears apparently in three roots. One great thing about this book is that wow, my camera's going really slowly, is that it gives us lists of all kinds of verbs in the back. So I'm sure that if we looked up Pa'el verbs, it will give us the exact forms that we find of each of these roots. In the future, we can go over that. All right, so the second one, dakak. If we go into the root form, dakak, but it's dikak. Dikak. I think this is the one that we had in Daniel chapter 7, where we said that he was crushing. The fourth beast was crushing, and then it says it was breaking the residue to pieces. I think it says midake or mideka, something like that. Next one, the root would be yakad, to burn. We've seen a lot of words meaning burn so far. because the vision in Daniel had the fire issuing forth and burning. And okay, we've got a shaf'el root with klal. Shaf'el, I would guess, would be shachpel, shachlal, shachlel, something like that.
Or shachel.
Have that root.
I think maybe it dropped, the second llama drops.
Shachel?
I think so, but maybe not.
I don't like that they don't give you the real form of the word. Like, I want to see how the word looks when you find it in the text. But this is the habit of the Bible teachers that teach language as something you analyze rather than something you speak. Let's see if we can find this, because I really want to know how it looks. In Hebrew, we have this root. We have a sheen prefix to klal. No, to kefel, to something that's doubled. L'shachpel is to duplicate. L'shachpel. That's how we would say a root like that. Let's see. Kaf lamed lamed. Looking in holiday. Okay, he says shachlilu. Shachlilu is the plural.
Okay.
I remember reading that in Ezra 6, yeah. He's got the form shachlilu, shachlele with a personal suffix, and shachlela as an infinitive, meaning to finish. Like they finished the building, they finished the work. It's also got the hishtaf al form, which is he's got an imperfect, yishtachlelun. Yishtachlelun, it means it will be finished. Yishtachlelun, they will be finished. That's in Ezra chapter 4. Great. Okay, mita or mite, that's going to have an A ending. Yimte, we see, to reach, to attain. We're going to see that in our translations in a bit. Al-salak means to go up. We had that from Daniel, salkan, that going up, the feminine for the beasts coming up out of the sea. To take up with hafel, to take up, to cause to go up, to be lifted. Okay. Ada, to pass away. Revoke. We saw that at the end of Daniel, the end of the vision, where their dominion was taken away, was revoked. We saw that. Plach, to serve. Yiflechun, we see a lot. They will serve. Yiflechun, they will serve him. Itzbe, sabah, itzbe, to desire or wish for. And the same root that we have in Hebrew, hafel, we have in Hebrew hifil, lashpil, to humiliate. So hashpel, hashpel, like in Hebrew, hishpil. Fantastic. Let's get into parsing. Here we go. This is from page 99 of the textbook. Let's go. Stem conjugation, person, gender, number, lexical form, and gloss. All right, Hoshea, why don't you start us off? These are basically taken from the vocabulary words we just went over on page 99.
Yimte.
98.
Yimte. So peal. And then, it's here in the book. Imperfect. 3MA.
You had to look. All right, so go to the next one. Go to the next one.
Niktuv. Okay. Peal. Conjugation. Imperfect. PGN. First common plural. Lexical. Peal. Lexical. Ketav. And then we wrote.
Future. We will write.
Yeah, we will write. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Of course, the imperfect can be used if you have a literary context where you have the past tense already established, and then the imperfect is used. It's like a habitual past. But generally, without context, the future should be understood to be future. The imperfect should be understood to be future. All right, Jonathan, number 3. Jonathan.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Okay, so I think Pale Imperfect, first common plural from Koftate bait or Koftav bait. We will write.
I think you're
Number
looking at
three.
number 2. but
I
you
am
should go to
looking at number 4, and Jose just did that one. Oh, it's a Tilbash. Pale Perfect. Is this second masculine singular and third
Maybe.
feminine singular? Is it doubled? Okay. And then, and I'm guessing from Lamed Beit Sheen, and is this to clothe like it is in Hebrew or not?
Not clothed, but to put on.
Oh,
You
to put on.
It can be to put on or to wear.
Okay.
To clothe would be in the hifil, or in Aramaic, the hafel, to make someone wear. Right? In Hebrew, you say hilbish.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Number 4 is yisgud. Yisgud, we actually have this form yisgod in Hebrew. It means to bow down to. This is the stem is peal. It's imperfect, third masculine singular, from the word sgad, which means he will bow down. He will give obeisance. Number 5. Okay.
Yisgudun. Okay. Stem, peal, conjugation, imperfect. The un is plural, is third masculine plural. And then sgad, yeah, sgad, third masculine plural. They will bow down.
Yep, they will bow down. Number 6.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Yiskadun is what then?
He just gave all the pieces of it.
Yeah, but were we on Tiskadun or Yiskadun?
Yes.
We were on number 5.
Oh, that makes sense. All right. Right. Okay, so Tiskadun, Pale Imperfect, second masculine plural from Sagad, Sin Gimel Dalet. They will, or you all will crap, not crap.
No.
What was this, the to crush one? No.
No.
Was this what? This was it?
A mosque, and it's from the word worship, lisgod. In Hebrew, lisgod.
Okay.
So here it's sgad. It means to worship or to bow down.
Okay.
So it's 2ms, or 2mp, excuse me, 2mp. What's the gloss?
You will bow down.
Yeah,
you all will bow
Mhm.
down.
Or you will worship. Yeah. All right. Number 7 is yakum. This is obviously pe'al, because basically everything is pe'al that we're working with. This is imperfect with the hollow verb kum, get up. It's third masculine singular. The root kuf vav mem, and it means he will arise. He will arise, he will stand up, he will get up. Yeah, so instead of Hebrew yakum with a full vowel, we see yakum with a shva. Number 8. We should also basically say which forms are identical to Hebrew. Like number 3 is identical to Hebrew. There's no difference. Number 5 is identical to archaic Hebrew. Number 6 is identical. Number 8.
Yeah. Yekumun. Yeah, I'm sorry. My leg kind of slept. You know that feeling?
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. Yekumun. Peal Imperfect. 3. Wait, sorry. 3 MP. They will rise.
Yeah, they will rise because their legs are asleep, so they will stand up. And that's also identical to Hebrew, right? Number 9. Jonathan.
Pale imperfect, third masculine singular from, it means to give, right?
No.
No? Dang it. See, I haven't studied this vocabulary. Is it just
But look at it. Look at it. It looks
to
like
be
something.
good?
No.
Oh.
Good has tet. This is, think of letters that are interchanged between Aramaic and Hebrew.
Oh, to sit? Yashav?
No.
No. Dang it.
Yashuv. Like Yashuv, he will return.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
He
you
will
gave me
return.
the gloss. He will return from Tavav bait, third masculine singular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He will return. So it's like in Hebrew, Yashuv.
Mm-hmm.
I said number 8 is identical to Hebrew. It is in the if we have the nun energicum. Without it, the accent is shifted back to the main syllable, and it's got a full vowel here. It's yakumu. Yakumu is they will arise, but with the nun energicum, it becomes yakumun in Hebrew. So it's identical in Hebrew as long as we have the nun ending. Number 10, lehve.
Uh-huh.
Leheve is Peal Imperfect from, it's third masculine singular from hava, which is he was, to be. And the gloss is he will be. The lamed is used to avoid writing yud hey vav hey because hey and aleph are interchangeable in most contexts.
Yeah.
So this is a way to avoid saying or writing the name of God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then 11. Teheve. Stem. Peal. Conjugation. Imperfect. PGN. Third person. Second singular. And also second person feminine singular.
So second feminine singular or no,
Third
second
person
masculine singular or third
masculine
feminine
singular.
singular.
Or third, okay. And then lexical hava or heva transliteration. You will be or he will. Sorry. You will be or she will be.
Right. Number 12, Jonathan.
Lehevon.
Mhm.
Pale imperfect, third masculine plural,
Mhm.
I think, from hey
Yes.
vav hey. So they will live.
B.
Be.
It will be.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, B. Haya, not
Live is with
haya.
tet.
Yeah.
But notice what happens is that the von ending, von replaces the aleph on the end. We see others like this on,
And then
first
it's
of
a
all,
nun energicum again, right?
yeah.
So the
First of
vav
all,
replaces the aleph.
but in Aramaic, it
So,
seems that the imperfect, that nun energicum is used all the time.
Nasalization for the
So
word.
notice on page 95, number 6, in the third group, excuse me, the expected shuruk, in an imperfect subformative is spelled as holam vav, and the final hey and aleph drops out before the subformative. So Yishte in Hebrew, he will drink, or they will drink. Yishtu, they will drink, becomes yishton, the on ending. So that's what we've got going on here. Lehevon, the on.
And I keep saying
Mikron.
common. I think saying
Mhm.
keep saying common plural. It's masculine plural.
Yeah, because
There's a
separate
feminine.
feminine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
hmm
And Yivnon, they will build, instead of Hebrew Yivnu. Okay. Number 13 is mine. Inda. Inda
Inda.
comes, it's from like Eda in Hebrew. Eda, I will know. I will find out. But that noon is inserted there. So we've got the Peal Imperfect. First common
Is it still
singular.
from yada?
From
From
Yeda.
yod?
Yeda.
Yeah, yada. Right.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason,
Meaning
he's only
I will
writing
know.
the roots now. Yeah.
What root? Where did you see?
Well, before he was putting, when he was doing the call parsing, he would put the vowels for the call third masculine singular. Now he's just putting the root letters for some reason.
Oh, you're looking at the answer key.
No, I mean, no, just up at the top part. He puts Pel imperfect third masculine singular from mata to he will reach.
I didn't notice
He
what he was
just,
saying before.
yeah.
Also, in the last
weird.
chapter, he didn't have vowels. The one before
Consistency is a real problem in this book, isn't it?
Yes, that's how I feel. Not only consistency, but when you're copying and pasting the words from the Bible, try to copy them correctly. Like asar instead of ashar. That's unforgivable. But okay. So we're on number 14 for Hosea.
14. Pinda. Again, stem, peal, conjugation, imperfect, PGN, third feminine singular, second masculine singular. Translation, she will know or you will know.
Yep. Number 15.
Yahav.
No. Yahach.
Yahach. This is the halak one, right?
Yeah, Allah.
Pale imperfect, third masculine singular from Hey Lamed Kaf. He will walk or go. Sorry.
Here we go.
I
Number
say,
16.
yeah, you walk, but that's how I remember it. Halak to
10.
walk.
Mm-hmm. In 10, he will give. This is the stem peal imperfect third masculine singular from Natan. In 10, he will give. 17, Hosea.
Yemar, stem peal, conjugation imperfect, PGN, third masculine singular. Translation, he will say.
Good, very nice. Number 18, Jonathan.
Ne Amar is a peal imperfect first common singular.
How's it read though?
Neymar.
Neymar.
Peal imperfect third or first common plural from Amar to say. Aleph Mem Resh.
Yeah, meaning we will say.
We will say. Mm-hmm.
Number 19 is Vihach. It's Yahach with a Vav conjunction. So it's exactly this. It's the stem peal imperfect third masculine singular from halach, Hey Lamed Kaf, meaning he will go, but it has the conjunction and he will go. Number 20, Hosea.
20, we have Yochal.
Yuchal.
Yuchal.
Not a truck.
Stem, peal, conjugation imperfect, PGN, 3MS. Is this the one from Achal? I know.
I'm looking for the root because in here, okay, it's Yechil.
Yaha.
What's that? Yuval. What's that? Sure. Ah, from yakal. From yakal.
Mhm.
To be able. Able. I forgot why this becomes.
According to Holiday,
Hmm.
this is a Hebrew form. Yuchal is a Hebrew form, and so is Tuchal. These two are both Hebrew forms. According to Holiday, they are TV issues
Hmm.
that they should not have put in this book. The form in Aramaic is Tikul and Yikul. Those are the
Uh-huh.
Aramaic forms, and they are written in the Kri or the Kri forms in the
Well,
Bible.
I bet you he
So it's
puts. I
problematic
bet
that
you he
this is
puts
in
a
here.
lot of forms that aren't in the Bible. I
So what
bet
is
you.
this?
Yeah.
What is
What do you
takal?
mean that's not in the Bible? These are in the Bible, but they are mistakes.
I bet though he puts unattested forms. Is what I'm saying in the
These are
exercises.
not unattested forms.
Okay.
These are forms that are in the Bible, but they are mistakes.
Hmm.
All right.
They're Hebrew forms.
Oh,
So they are written in the Ktiv Kri. They're in the Ktiv, and there's a mark saying, read it as
Yeah. So he
Yikul.
just.
cool.
Yikul is Aramaic,
Yeah.
Yuchal
So
is
he just
Hebrew.
put it in using the written form then.
So what is this?
But it's a problem to me. It's a problem to me that the author would put that in an exercise instead of the real form that we're supposed to be reading in Aramaic.
I agree.
Because I want
Okay.
to learn the Aramaic forms. I know the Hebrew forms already.
Uh-huh.
You know,
But wouldn't the Hebrew form be Yochel with a Holem Vav?
no, Yuchal is the future.
Yochel.
Future.
Yochal would be he will eat
Oh, okay.
with
Okay.
the aleph. Yochal
The
means he will eat.
auditory learner strikes again. Strikes out
So
again, I should say.
So
uh,
Yuchal is the Hebrew word for he will be able.
so what is this in Aramaic?
Mm-hmm.
If we the
Yikul. Yikul.
cool.
Let's
Okay.
I have these problems with the book. Like when he gives forms that are just wrong.
Mm.
Like he
But
should know better.
but
Ye cool.
but
This is the
mm,
future. Ye cool. He will be able.
okay, the same. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Um.
so
Yeah.
PGN is still 3 ms, but the lexical form is yakal,
Yeah.
yikal, and then translation he will be able. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Ye
uh,
cool. He will be able. We'll
yikul,
find it.
yikul.
Let's. If you don't mind, let's go ahead and try to find out where that is in the Bible, so we
Hmm.
can look at the text real quick, because we should see that there is,
Ketiv
like I
kere.
said, the Ketiv Kali. It's Daniel 5:16. Let's pull over to the Bible and look. Where's my?
No,
There we are.
5:16.
So we're going to go to Mchon Mamre.
Mhm. Yeah. It's
Daniel
also in the
chapter
book.
5, verse 16. Okay, so we should see Yuchal, which is the Hebrew form, and then we should see in parentheses Yikul. They wrote it, yeah. So we have Tuchal, which is
Uh-huh.
the Hebrew form. You can see right there,
Mm-hmm.
Tuchal,
Uh-huh.
and they put Tikul in the Kri.
Okay.
So we've got Tuchal and Tikul. So we should. That's how we should
Uh-huh.
learn the form. That it's in
Mm.
Tikul.
Okay.
Okay.
Stupid.
This is
Stupid.
the
Stupid.
future of another verb. What's that?
Stupid.
Mm.
Yeah, it frustrates me. It frustrates me that I went several days, some thinking that this is ashara, ashara. So it makes sense that it could be ashara in Aramaic. I didn't assume that that this book was released with printing errors like this, you know? I don't know who it is.
That's me because there's a
Jonathan,
lawnmower
go ahead.
going behind me. Sorry about that.
Okay, so go ahead and
Somebody's
do
cutting
number
the
22.
grass behind me. Pale imperfect third masculine singular from, I guess this is nafal. He will fall. It's curious that the noon is assimilated there when it's not in other verbs.
Right.
That's curious to me.
This is
Because usually
really
you would
fun
expect
for
that
me.
nasalization.
To me, this is fun because, yeah, I think this verb is fun because it shows that there were other verbs with an e quality future, an e theme future. So whereas in Hebrew, I have a hard time explaining to students why it's yiten, he will give, instead of yiton. And then the noon assimilates, yiten. But we see here in Aramaic that there are other verbs that had this e theme. So instead of yipol, yinpol, it's yinpel, yipel. That's really neat. Even though in Hebrew that becomes an o theme, so it's yipol. All right. Who was next? This is me. Yishton. Yishton is from yishtu. It's Peal Imperfect. It's third masculine plural. It's not common, it's masculine. And it's from shta, like he drank, meaning they will drink. And Jose, you've got the last one here.
Ikron, Peal, imperfect, third masculine plural, lexical, kera, translation, they will call.
It could be they will call, or it could be they will happen.
Yeah, or meet. You can say meet.
So,
That's yeah.
So this phone ending could be the dropped aleph or the dropped a. So it could be yikru.
I was wondering
call,
about that.
Or they will happen, or yikru.
I was wondering about that, Jason.
Could be either.
Cool. Neat.
Good.
This is fun.
Translation exercises.
Woo!
Yes, Aramaic. All right.
Is this from the book?
One,
Yeah, these are from the book.
It is. These are from the book. So we're going to do these translation exercises from page, what is it, page 100?
Yep.
And then I've got us 2 verses from Daniel chapter 2, the very beginning of the Aramaic portion. There are 15 translation exercises, and then 2 verses from Daniel chapter 2.
He doesn't give us enough space to
these
write these.
And some of them, that's okay. Type them on your computer.
No.
So this one is one that we've been over several times. Sorry, I'm adjusting my seat. This is one we've been over several times because it's the only Aramaic verse in Jeremiah. This is only the first half of it. Okay, so I think, Jonathan, we're on you, I think.
Yeah, well, guess who doesn't know much of this? Been over it several times. Guess who hasn't been here several times? So kidna temrun lahom elahaya di shamaya va'arka la avadu or avadu.
It's on the first page of the reader and handbook if you want to look. It's Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 11. It's on the first page. So it has some lexical aids at the bottom of this page if you want to look.
Yes, it will.
It's hard to do that in the camera down here.
This book is all right to left. That's interesting. All right.
This book is all the correct direction. I have to say, I love this book. I love it. I found one typo in it so far, but it's beautiful. It's wonderful.
Jeremiah. Dana. Oh. So according to this, or maybe following this or something, you said, oh, this, okay, thus, okay. Thus, so thus you will, So thus you will say to, dang it.
Them, to them. Lahom, lahem,
Oh,
to
Lahom.
them.
Right. The God
So
of the
how would you say
heavens.
this in Hebrew? How would you say this in Hebrew? Kidnat timrun lahom. This is a very common expression in the prophets.
Kain tomaru lahim. Or ko,
Okay,
or
or
yeah,
ko.
or yeah,
Ko tomaru lahem.
ko. Will not. Is this abandon you? No,
This
will
is a
not.
problem that
Avadu.
D, the word D has several different
Well,
meanings, right?
the God of the heavens. I think that's
So
a possessive.
here it's not of, here it's that. This is the Asher.
Well, yeah,
This is Ha Elohim Asher.
but there's no. I don't think that's true.
Trust me. Trust me.
Okay, all right. So, but there's no preposition on Shamaya.
There doesn't need to be.
Oh.
Elahaya dishmaya va'arka la avadu. What's avadu?
To perish.
No. That's with Aleph. Aleph avad means perish. Ayin avad means work in Hebrew. In Aramaic, it means do or create. So gods which did not create the heavens and the earth.
Oh.
And the verse would continue. We don't have the continuation here. Here we only have the relative clause. The continuation says, the gods which did not create heavens and earth, the heavens and the earth, shall perish from earth and from under the heavens.
Shall perish from, and from under, Okay. The notes.
So this is a relative clause.
The notes here say that third masculine avad is identical to, no, no, that's, never mind. I'm misreading.
Gevadu me'ar'a umintchod shmaya ele. Ele is actually the Hebrew, it's a Hebrew word. That's the Hebrew demonstrative pronoun. And in this case, it's juxtaposing ele against elahaya. These shall perish from the earth and from under the heavens. Ele is the subject of they will perish. It's like the whole verse, the order of the words has been reversed. So the first verse is elahaya dishmaya va'arka la'avadu. Then it switches the order and avadu becomes yevadu. Me'ar'a umitchot shmaya, where the heaven and earth are switched places. And ele is pointing back to elahaya, the gods. Very neat structure. The structure of that verse is really nice. It's like it could be laid out in 4 pieces, and then 4 pieces underneath it, and they're exactly the direct opposite of the order. It's really nice. All right, number 2, Hosea.
Number 2, La yiflechun, La yiflechun, vela yisgedun lekol ela lahen le alahahon. Okay.
Lelahahon.
Okay. And you will not, and not bow down. Is this Paul?
They will not.
Is this Paul? Palakon? No.
No, it's worship
Worship. Okay. And
or
you
serve.
will not serve.
Not you. They.
They. And they will not serve. And they will not worship uh, to all Allah. To all the gods. To all
Well,
God.
Elah is singular.
The God. To all God.
So when you have kol with an indefinite singular, it more than likely means any. To any
Okay.
god.
To any God. To
Mm-hmm.
them. To
Okay.
them.
Lahen can mean except.
Except. To
Mm-hmm.
al-hahon. To your
Hon is yours,
they.
but what is hon? Yes,
Their God.
their. Mhm.
Their God.
They will
Okay.
not worship and they will not bow down to any god
Any God
except
except
to
their
their
God.
God. Mhm.
So this is describing the
Yeah.
Jews or the Hebrew.
Yeah, you would hope
Uh,
so. All right. ורומי ימתה לשמיה וחזותי לסוף כל הרעה. All right, so its height will reach to the sky. That is the height probably of the statue or the tower. What do we call it? Height of the statue, probably the statue of Nebuchadnezzar in his dream. So its height reaches to the sky, and its chazot, I guess, would mean its breadth.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. It's like well, I see that it's translated in one place as its appearance to the end of the earth. I don't know what chazot. Let's see what chazot means in this in holiday. I love that holiday has the Aramaic portions at the end. It says sight, like vision. In other words, I guess what it means
It will be
is that
seen. It will be seen from the
yeah,
ends of the earth. Yeah.
yeah, its height will reach to the sky, and everyone on earth will be able to see it. All right, number 4.
Ulaman di be yitnena yitnina, and I have nothing because I have not studied this vocabulary yet because I am behind.
Well, Mandi, we said several meetings ago, several sessions ago. Mandi means whoever. The word sava, it means to desire, to want.
Yeah,
right?
that's the same in Hebrew. So whoever desires it, or maybe not it, whoever desires it will. It makes me
He
want to
will give
think.
it.
Oh, he will give it. Okay.
Right, whoever desires will give it. What is you said Yitzbe has a correspondence in Hebrew? I don't know that one. Yitzbe.
desire.
Isn't it in? No, it's not in Genesis. That's a different word. I don't know why I'm
I
thinking
just know
of it.
that this is it's here on page 98.
Okay.
This is Sebe. Out Saba. I don't know. Okay, yeah, and it's on page 95. It says he desires, Yitzbe. So anyway, so whoever desires will give it. Number 5.
Okay, my turn.
Oh, maybe it says and to whoever desires, he will give it. Because there's a le on the front of that.
Okay.
Oh, to whomever he desires, he will give it. That makes sense. Yeah. To whomever he desires, he will get. He gives it to whomever he desires. All right, number 5.
Okay. Shol.
We've been reading. Yeah, we've been reading the first syllable as closed. So Sholtan.
But there's no
Sultane,
Canaanite shift, so wouldn't it be shall?
Shul,
Because Aramaic didn't do a Canaanite shift, so I wonder if it should be a.
I don't know,
Something to
but
look
we
at.
have the word call, which is certainly call. So I think it's
Mhm.
the same thing.
Sultane, Sultan, alam, di, la, ye, ede. Okay. Kingdom, rules. Okay. Sultane. I forgot the A ending, but I know kingdom is Sultan.
Yeah, his kingdom, his
Okay.
dominion.
His
Just looking
kingdom.
in Holiday, I'm sorry, just looking in Holiday, it actually has transliteration,
Okay.
and it says Sultan Malkuti,
Okay.
which
Really?
would be Sultan Malkuti, the dominion of my kingdom. So it does, it literally says Sultan. So I assume that that's true.
Hmm.
Dominion shall reign, alam, forever.
So his
And it
dominion is an
is,
eternal dominion.
okay. Okay. His dominion is eternal dominion, which will not be taken away,
Right, which
not
he will not
pass
revoke.
away.
I
Okay.
don't think it's passive. I think it's like the idea is that God won't revoke it.
Yeah.
So his
Won't
dominion
revoke
is an
it.
eternal
Okay.
dominion that he will not revoke,
You will
meaning
not.
God won't. Mhm. Number 6, Madi leve bachrit yomaya. Just like Mandi means whoever, Madi can be whatever or what. What will be in the last days. Bachrit yomaya is like bachrit hayamim in Hebrew, the last days. Number 7, Jonathan, I've removed the vowels, the vocalization from the ktiv, because I don't see why they vocalize the ktiv. It's saying, we're not supposed to read that word. We're supposed to read the one that's in parentheses. So.
Okay. So I'll read your copy then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why, Jason? Question: Why does the cough not take a dagesh lene here in this language when it does in other
Also,
places?
but in Hebrew,
Malchu.
malchut in Hebrew doesn't have dagesh.
Okay, that answers that question. So umalchu revi'a revi'a teheve takifa. So yeah. So yeah, that's the last word. Kafarzallah. Okay, so
what is kafarzallah in Hebrew? Do you recognize that one? It's
like
very Hebrew.
iron. Parcel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in Hebrew, kabalzel.
Mm-hmm. So the kingdom Revi'i, I should know this. Revi'a. That's an what is it? Revia. What's a revia? It's the same word.
Rava.
What's
No.
reva?
Huh? I don't know. Oh.
What's reva?
I do not know.
What is rova? Arba.
Oh, arba, 4. So the fourth. So the fourth kingdom. The fourth kingdom.
A fourth kingdom. It's not definite.
Yeah, a fourth kingdom will be
Takif. Powerful.
Will be powerful. So like as powerful as iron or something.
Yeah, it will be powerful
like an
strong like
an iron one. Mm-hmm.
Like or just iron.
Right.
The iron itself is a thing. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 8.
Sorry. Ve'im cheva bara leheve
Hevat.
kevat. Kevat. Okay. Kevat bara leheve medorach. Don't recognize medorach. And with living with the living bara create
But cheva is not just living like living people. It's an animal.
animals. Okay. And with
Yeah.
animals he create
But it's singular though.
yeah. Feminine.
And bara doesn't mean he created.
But
It's bar
Bar.
with an article. What's
the
bar?
sun
No.
the bar. No.
It's not. It is, but maybe not here.
The bar.
In Hebrew you would say chayat bar. Chayat bar.
Bar.
It means a wild animal.
Oh yeah, the wild.
Bar is, you could almost feel that bar is like midbar. It's the wild. It's like, but chevat bara is the wild animal, the animal of the wild.
With the wild animal will be in the way.
This is in
Dorach.
Hebrew lagur with gimel in Hebrew.
Gimel gur.
Lagur. Lagur is
no, not
to
no,
sojourn.
to live. Sorry.
Yeah, he
So
won't be sojourning with wild animals.
For Nebuchadnezzar. The ano.
Yeah, your living will be with the animal of the field.
Animals.
In other words, your dwelling place. You will live with the animals.
Wait. What's the Aramaic for gur here?
Ladur with
Ladur. Yeah.
I say ladur as if it were a Hebrew infinitive. It's probably like madur.
Okay.
Because infinitives in Aramaic are going to be created with mem, not with lamed.
What's the kaf on the end of it? Yours.
You?
Yeah.
You?
Feminine.
Yours.
Yeah.
It's not feminine, it's masculine. Feminine is ich. Masculine is ach. Also in Arabic, masculine is ak. Ak.
I don't know
So
Arabic.
it's a masculine form. Verayone livvach tinda. I think we said that rayon in Aramaic means thought. In Hebrew, it means idea. So it's the thought of your heart, the thoughts of your heart you will know. You will know the thoughts of your heart. All right, number 10, Jonathan.
Lahin chelma me'aruli v'in
Amaruli.
Emaruli accent. Emaruli v'inda di fishtre teha.
Fishrei.
That's what I thought it was. What I thought I said. Oof. Oh, not fishrei.
You said a
no,
T
fishrei. I just rolled my R too hard. Fishrei. Tehachavunani. Tehachavunani. You can make known. It has a footnote. So is this therefore or except?
So,
Except,
therefore. I think.
Yeah. The therefore the dream.
This is imperative.
Is that an imperative? We haven't had the imperative yet, have we?
Right. Nope.
Yeah. So therefore, say the dream to me, so that I may know its interpretation, or so that you may make known to me its interpretation. But what do you do with the D there? Oh, so that I may know what is its
I think
interpretation.
so I will know that you will be able to say its interpretation. Like, tell me the dream, and then I will know that whatever interpretation you give will be correct. You know, I will know that its interpretation, you will tell me. Or you will declare to me.
Okay.
All right, we're actually gonna see today in Daniel chapter 2 at the end of the lesson that the word this word that we would think it means to live, it's related to like chaya in Hebrew, right? This is chava. We would think it's related to live. It in Aramaic is used to say to breathe out something, to say it, to speak it, declare it, to breathe it out, from the idea of breath. Number 11.
Ken Amar Khayv.
And that's a past tense right there. That's a perfect. Good.
Ken Amar Khayv Kevta or Keveta. Keveta Rebi Ayeta.
Okay, so over here we had Revi'ah. This is indefinite, a fourth. This is Malchu Revi'ah, a fourth kingdom. This is definite.
The fourth.
Revi'aita is the fourth beast. Kevta Revi'aita.
Malko.
Malchu.
Malku.
That's Malchu.
Malchu. Revi'ah.
Indefinite.
Teheve. Be'ar'a. Okay.
Yes.
Thus, he said, thus the fourth beast or being.
So thus he said it's off, and then we have quotation marks here.
Okay. Thus he said, the being fourth, the fourth being, the fourth monster, beast. Sorry, I said it. The fourth beast, his kingdom.
Well, this is going to be this. The verb is here, so the fourth beast will be.
His kingdom will be in the earth.
There's no his. His kingdom would be Malchute.
Malku.
Malchu just means kingdom.
Okay.
So, thus he said, the fourth beast will be a fourth kingdom.
Fourth kingdom. Okay. Oh.
And then?
In the earth.
Yeah. The fourth beast will be the fourth kingdom in the earth. How do I keep getting the short ones? Number 12. Tinten min beit ginze malka. I know this word ginze because we have gniza in Hebrew. It means a place where you put like old manuscripts for burial.
Like the Cairo Geniza.
Exactly. So this is Beit Ginze Malka is the king's treasury. Number 13, Jonathan.
V'hach lehechla di Yerushalem la'atre. So this is, and he will walk.
There's no verb consecutive. Oh yeah, it is.
Oh
future.
yeah, V. Yeah,
and he will go.
And he will go. Is this just like a locative lama towards the king? Go to the king. Yeah, go. Yeah, no. To the temple.
The is not king.
To the palace. Yeah, of Jerusalem and Latre.
The palace that is in Jerusalem. The Jerusalem. That is in Jerusalem.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, because
He
you
will
wouldn't
go
have
to the
you
palace
wouldn't
that is
have
in
yeah, you
Jerusalem.
wouldn't have of in Jerusalem. Yeah. That is in Jerusalem to something it.
Atal. What is atal?
Ground?
Atal is also
No.
in Hebrew. It means place or site. So atre,
To its
his
place.
place. Well, if I imagine that that the vihach is a person, he will go to the palace that's in Jerusalem to his place.
Mhm.
I don't know who he is, but it only makes sense that that would be a person to his place.
Mhm.
Unless
Unless you're
it's
talking
just
about
being
the Ark of the Covenant, maybe the Ark of the Covenant.
or the place where the palace is located. It depends. I think it could be either one.
A king?
Because Aramaic's always redundant with pronouns. Like, you know what I
It would
mean?
seem to talk about the king going to his own place in the palace.
Mhm.
Oh, okay,
Normally, his
okay.
place would be like his home. Okay, 14. We have two more.
Yeah.
So 14. You get a short one. Yay!
Jerusalem
Will go.
he will walk. He will. Oh, sorry.
I don't
To
know what the
Jerusalem,
succession is with
he will
walking.
go
But
with you.
It means to go or walk. It's a
He will-
secondary
I
meaning.
know, but you should take scissors and cut that out of your head. It
He-
But if
means to
you're
go.
going anywhere, you're walking unless you're on a camel or something.
He will
I
go
know,
with
but
you.
when we say walk in English, we're stressing the fact that it's by foot.
Okay.
Oh,
We're
all right,
stressing it.
all right,
But
all
there's no
right,
stress here.
all
He
right.
It
will,
just means he will go.
he will go with you to Jerusalem.
Yeah, it could be that you're going on camels. It could be other ways. It just means go. That's what it means. So cut it out of your head.
I'm gonna
Only
mute
if it
myself.
says lalechet beregel, then you know that
Okay.
it's walking, and then you say
Okay.
walking.
I'm gonna mute myself so I'm no longer disruptive.
Number 15.
But
למעלה
it's your
וקצף על מלכות מלכה ובנוהי. I think tzaf is like anger, wrath. So למעלה וקצף means why should there be wrath upon the kingdom of the king and his sons? Meaning, I don't know what it's asking, but it's asking why should there be wrath upon the kingdom. All right, now we are going into a king's dream. Begin away from the, I guess, the LSD trip, LSD that Daniel took and saw these beasts. I don't know, but we're going to come back to reality of a king having a dream. All right, so we'll start with Hebrew. Vayidabru hakasdim lamelech aramit. The Kasdim, the Chaldeans or the astrologers, these men of the East, spoke to the king in Aramaic. All right, Hoshea, what did they say to the king? Finish out the first verse. This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 4. I don't hear you.
This is a hard one. Did he leave? Did Hosea leave?
Malach.
Oh, there he
No,
is.
I'm here.
I see him, I just
I'm
don't hear
muted.
him.
Malka le almin Khay Emar
Chayi.
Hel Khayi
That's got a yi.
Khayi Khayi Emar Helma Le Av Dach Ufish Ra Nechave. Until where? Nechave.
Just there.
Okay,
Just there.
yeah. The king Le Al.
This is
This is
technically a
a
vocative.
hard
If
one. We
someone
haven't
says
had
the king,
any of
it's
this
going to
grammar
say,
yet.
O king.
O king Le Olmin. O king to Almin. to Alma.
In Hebrew, this is going to be le'olamim. Le'olamim.
O King, forever, live forever. May you live forever.
O King, live forever. Mm-hmm.
Emar, tell,
Mm-hmm.
tell.
Mm-hmm.
Is this okay?
Imperative,
Maybe
yeah.
Tell the dream to your servant. To your servant.
And this is actually plural. Your servants.
Plural.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your servants. And the interpretation nekoze. The interpretation nekave.
This is, remember we said before that the whole idea of chai, of living, life, the breathing spirit. So this is that we will declare it by breathing out. We will declare its interpretation. Kind of a weird way to relate to the idea of declaration, of declaring, but interesting. So, O King, may you live forever. Speak the dream to your servants, and we will declare its interpretation. Maybe it would be a good idea to cut back to earlier in the chapter, just so we run into it in Hebrew, and then go from there in Aramaic. Let's see, we're going to Daniel chapter 2. All right, so we've got Uvishnat Shtaim lemalchut Nebuchadnezzar, Chalam Nebuchadnezzar Chalomot. He dreamed dreams. Vatitpaem rucho ushnato niyita alav. All right, so his spirit, I guess, was agitated, and his sleep, I don't know, took over him. I'm not sure what this means. The titpaem. I'm not sure. It's related to lif'om, to beat, to step.
Left him.
But I'm not sure. Vayomer HaMelech, okay, likro lechartumim. So he's the king said to summon the chartumim, the astrologers. Ve'lashafim, ve'lamchashafim. Chashfim in general is wizards in modern Hebrew. All of these words are people who are supposed to understand dreams and all of this. Ve'lakasdim, and the Chaldeans, because they were good astrologers. La'agid lemelech chalomotav, to tell the king his dreams. Vayavo vayamdu lifnei hamelech, they came and they stood before the king. Vayomer lehem hamelech chalom chalamti, the king told them, I have dreamed a dream. Vatipaem ruchi, there's the same word that I don't understand. Tipaem. Ladat et hachalom, to know the dream. Vayidabru hakasdim lemelech aramit. So this is where we switch to Aramaic. Until this point, the king had some dreams that upset him. So he called them in and said, tell me what my dreams were. Maybe he forgot. A lot of times you wake up and you don't remember what your dream was. And he tells them, you need to tell me my dream. And they said, if you'll tell us your dream, then we will tell you its interpretation. We'll tell you what it means. And he doesn't like that answer. So Malkal Alamin Cheye Mar Chalma Lavdach Ufishra Nichave. Daniel chapter 4 verse 3, Jonathan, beginning with Ane. This is a participle, as is Amar. Ane and Amar are participles.
Yeah, that's neat. You start talking and it says you're muted if you're paying attention.
Oh, I clicked on it and I said, ask to unmute.
Okay. So as da hein la tehodeunani chelma ufishrei hadamin tit avdun uvatechon.
Oh.
Yep. Navali Yitasamun.
Okay.
So answering. So maybe the king answered. That we translate that as past tense. Answering
Let's
the
throw it
king.
into the present tense, like in Hebrew, the participle is basically a present tense. The king answers and says.
Answers and says, "Lechasdiye." Is this still Chaldeans?
Yeah, to the Chaldeans.
To the Chaldeans, milta mini. Is that word?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the word.
The word.
From me.
Mini is like me, many. Mm-hmm. From me, the word from me.
As
and this is a loan word from, I want to say it's Persian.
Probably.
It means, it's a feminine. The aleph on the end is actually like the feminine ending. And it means it's irrevocable. Like the word for me is irrevocable. It can't be changed.
Thus,
let's see.
Do not.
It's Persian. It says that in Persian it means publicly known and thus irrevocable.
Yeah, so thus do not, whatever this is, do not make known to me.
The hen means if.
Oh, if you do not make known to me the interpretation, or the dream and its interpretation.
This word is hadam.
The
hadam.
Blood.
It means limbs. Hadam.
It means what?
Hadam is the word. Hadam is the word. Hadam, not dam.
Means what?
Hadam.
Yeah, I see that now.
Limb, like arms and legs.
Limbs, tit avdun.
Okay, this
limbs
is
an limbs will perish. I'll cut your legs off.
You will be torn limb from limb.
Okay, you will be torn limb from limb.
It's an expression.
And your houses, I think, right? And your houses, and your houses, Navali. What's that?
This is an Akkadian word meaning dunghill.
Your houses will be a dunghill. Yitsamun.
And not will be.
Will be made a dunghill.
Yeah, or will be. It literally will be put a dunghill.
Okay.
Brilliant. This is actually used in Hebrew somehow. I know we use
maybe Jeremiah when he's talking about dunghills. One of the prophets talks about a dunghill. I wonder if that's the word he uses.
Oh, I remember this word from the Hebrew. Dunghill. Let's see what the dictionary says. It's not the same. I do remember this word in the Bible, like in the Hebrew part of the Bible. Let's see. I know we use nevilah in modern Hebrew to mean like something really gross, but it's because it comes from the idea of a dead body, a corpse. That's with bet, not with vav.
You fall to the auditory curse as well from time to time.
I don't see it. I don't see it here. Yeah, I don't see it. It's something we'll have to look up. But I know that Nivali actually, it reminds me. I recognize it as a dunghill, and I don't know where I know it from. So that's something to look into. I don't know how I would know that word. But anyway, that's our verse. Vayidabu HaKasdim LaMelech HaRamit, Malka LeAlmin Chayi, Emar Chelma LaAvdach, Ufishra Nechaveh. Ane Malka VaAmar, לחסדאי, excuse me, מילתה מיני אזדה, הן לה תהוד אונני חלמה ופשרי, הדמין תתעבדון, ובתיכון נבלי יתסמון. This yitsamun should have a metathesis in Hebrew, right? Seen in the Tuf don't like each other like that.
Yeah, it should.
All right, so that's something, that's homework where we can look up this nivali. It has to be in Hebrew. It must be. But
It must be.
just for the sound, just for the sound relation. Naval is the word that's used for a fool, where Proverbs 14:1 says, "The fool has said in his heart there is no God." That's Amar Naval Belibo. Naval. Let's see. We've got with the bet, of course, a foolish person or someone who's godless. We've got Nevel, like Nevel V'Chino, a harp. Specifically a sexual offense, as in Genesis 34:7. Nevela is a carcass, a dead body. But apart from this, these all are related to the bet, the letter bet, not to. It's so weird because I know that there has to be a different meaning that's related to this dunghill that I'm.
In Ezra, there is another one.
That is it. We actually went over time. I didn't think it would take us this long to get through it. But
it's those sentences that do us in. 20 sentences is a lot.
But I think it's a good idea to go through them. I think that I think everything that we're doing in our sessions is a good idea.
Says the teacher. Of course, the teacher says that.
I mean that because I think we're making better progress than we would if we were just using what's in the book.
I should be. Sorry.
No,
I was going to say I should be close to caught up by next week because we're doing with the other guy about a lesson a day.
A lesson a day?
Yeah. Every time we meet, we do a lesson.
Oh, so not a lesson every day, but a lesson every day that you meet.
Well, we're supposed to meet. Well, we were meeting every day, but now he wants to do 3 times a week, so I won't be caught up for a while.
No, that's all right. Anyway, if you guys want to take a look at Daniel chapter 2, we're going to continue on with the story. So that way, we're just going to push forward in trying to expose ourselves to new vocabulary words to see, like in the next verse, we see the Peal formed, like the Pa'el, and we see a form that exactly comes into modern Hebrew with a very important verb. Okay, so this is going to be nice. The next verse is really good. Cool. We're going to continue on. Try to read Daniel chapter 2 a few times and get yourself used to it. And we're going to push on from there. Any questions or anything you want answered before we go?
Doing well, doing well.
All right. Take it easy. It starts at 2 o'clock.
Or we start from verse 1 or from verse 11?
Starting from verse 1, because some people will be joining us that weren't with us on Thursday, and it's considered a separate activity. So, how many verses are in Ruth chapter 8? Honestly, I haven't even looked at it yet.
We can go through that real quick if you want.
Yeah.
Let me see what we've got there. We'll go ahead and kill the recording because we don't need